listen to that sound. The ocean rolling along the beach with the sun glistening. For me, that's the best sound in the world. I could just sit and listen to this all day. Absolutely perfect. Good afternoon, everybody. Just wanted to give you a little update on our touring with the Thomases journey. Georgie's doing really well. We're about 300 miles into the North Coast 500, which is really good. We did have to do a detour, which I'll explain about in a moment. I just really wanted to come on and say we did plan to do the majority of our journey wild camping. Obviously this is all new to us, so we wasn't quite sure how we were going to get on. We've done really well, we love it, but we've both decided that 3 days, maximum 4 if at a push, would be enough for us. Then we will look at finding a campsite, which is what we done a couple of nights ago, just to refresh, have a little bit of a chill and a shower, fill up with water, just all those things, and it really helped us. And the one downside about wild camping is probably the locals. We had an incident last night. We were in a place called Castleton Beach, which was absolutely beautiful. The beach was gorgeous. We had a run on the beach. Darcy loved it. Perfect. We found the perfect spot for Georgie, overlooking the sea. Everything was good. We got into bed and we were just about to go to sleep, about 9:30, and then all of a sudden we heard someone shouting, hello, hello. To protect her, we're going to call her Bernie. So we've nicknamed her Bernie. So Bernie decided to shout out at the top of her voice, hello, hello, and Paul opened the door. I was a little bit apprehensive, opened the door, and then she started asking him where we do our poos. And she did have a can of beer in her hand, so we think she'd had a few, but yeah, she was quite adamant she wanted to know where we done our toilets. So Paul explained to her that we have got a chemical toilet, and the chemical we use is biodegradable, and also the bags we use are biodegradable, and we don't leave our poo in the bushes, and we always clear up wherever we've been. So she wasn't having none of it, so she went on her merry way anyway, and we didn't get any more interference during the night, which was good. But it was a bit scary because we didn't know her. I thought she was actually quite brave because she didn't know us either, and she reckoned she was asking everybody along the beach where they'd done their poos. So that is a downside to wild camping. You might get some nutters, but anyway. Apart from that, it's been really good. One good point that Mr. P made was we've been checking the BBC weather app. It's really important to check the weather, especially on the north coast of Scotland. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's blowing a hoolie at the moment. We're quite secluded where we found, which is brilliant. But that was the incident that we had, and which is why we changed our plans. That was on the other side to where we are now. I'll let Mr. P explain where we were.
Hi folks, just want to come on and explain the incident we had the other night. We parked up in a place called Shelday, overlooking the loch, very near Loch Torridon. Beautiful part. Some sheep sort of wandering around as we were setting up camp. And we had been sort of using the weather app every day, and sort of, even though the BBC app is excellent, I would say it's probably 90% accurate. The weather, as you know, in Scotland, there is a saying 4 seasons in one day, and you know, you can really get that, and it can change the wind can change the direction, and we parked up and it said 20-mile-an-hour winds, which was okay for Scotland. In the middle of the night, the winds were probably gusting at 40 plus. We were sitting up on a nice little sort of headland. The van was starting to rock backwards and forwards. In fact, it was like being on a boat with a sail. Me and Mrs. T both sort of got a little bit windy ourselves. We felt a little bit sort of scared. I actually sort of turned the van around in the middle of the night, about 2 a.m, and pulled the roof down, and we drove a couple of 100 yards down the road and parked next to some trees, which gave us a bit of shelter. After that sort of little scare, we decided to sort of drive back to Inverness, found a lovely campsite, and just sort of took some time out to recharge the batteries, regroup, and sort of rethink the strategy. I'll hand you back to Mrs. T.
So yeah, so after that, we managed to get back to sleep, which was fine this morning, and then we had a little walk this morning on Castletown Beach again, because it was lovely, and then the tide started coming in, so we decided to have a bit of breakfast and off we went. And then we went to Dunnet Head, which is the most northerly point in Great Britain. A lot of people go to John O'Groats.
John O'Groats.
We call it John O'Groats. I just think it's a bit disappointing, so we didn't bother with that. We're so pleased we went to Dunnet Head. It's really lovely, beautiful, spectacular, but blowing a hoolie. You got out of the van, and it was. I didn't get Darcy out because I think she would have got blown away. But it was really, really lovely. That was so worth going to. Spectacular views. So we took a few photographs there, a little bit of footage, and then we drove off to Mr. P found a lovely little spot on the map. I think it's really good to point out that there's a lot of places that are really commercial. Lots of places go to the obvious places. So it's really nice to find little bays and things that are small on the map. So look out for those and find those instead of going where there's lots of people. And he found a little bay called Sandside Bay, which there was hardly anybody there. There was toilets there, and it was really beautiful. So we had lunch there, and then we had a little walk on the beach. Miss Darcy might be glowing now because apparently there's
Dounreay nuclear reactor.
Yeah, it's a nuclear reactor, so you're not allowed to take anything from the beach because you'll be glowing at the end of the day otherwise. And I just want to say as well, I must admit I'm quite shocked at how beautiful the beaches are. I knew they were all the beaches were lovely from watching YouTubers, but when you see it in the flesh, they are spectacular. The beaches are absolutely amazing. Better, I'd say, than a lot of beaches I've seen abroad. The sea is gorgeous. It's just like an array of blues and greens. You can see through the sea, all the rocks. It's just absolutely stunning. And all the beaches we've been to are unspoiled, which is lovely. So it's so worth coming. If you're thinking about doing the North Coast 500, do it. It's amazing. It's so beautiful. And what we've done, obviously because of the weather, we shot across and started back on the other side. So you can do that. It's doable. It isn't that far. So it's definitely worth doing. It's absolutely beautiful. And then we decided to camp out for the night, and we found the first place we went to was a bit windy again and rainy, Strathy Point, and we thought it was quite high up, which we didn't realise from the map. Mr. P will explain all that. So we decided to go on a bit. Mr. P looked on Park for the night, and we found a beautiful spot called Shell Pick, which is tucked away. It's a little wooded area, as you can probably see behind us. It's really secluded from the road, and people, there's nobody here. It's really, really quiet because it's so tucked away, and we never would have found this without Park for the Night. It is really tucked away. Nobody else is here, and I don't think nobody else will come here. Can't hear any cars. It's perfect. It's lovely. It's just a perfect little area. If you had children, they could run around and play. The dog can run around. It's brilliant, lovely. People have been here. We've seen, you know, fires that have been lit, etc. But it's really lovely. So we'll be staying here tonight. And tomorrow, I'm a little bit excited because Mr. P has got a secret location planned. So I'll let you all know where we end up tomorrow.
Hi folks, just wanted to give you a little sort of heads up on navigating the roads in Scotland. I've driven in Scotland quite a lot. The North Coast 500 is a different level. You don't appreciate when you look at the map the gradients and the drops and how twisty some of the roads are. There's a lot of A and B roads, and honestly some of the B roads I would say are C or D roads. They're really sort of quite badly potholed. You know, the gradients can go from, you know, 0 feet up to 1,000 feet. So you will find, just sort of traversing from one place to the other, you know, 10 miles on the map, you think, oh yeah, that's a few minutes. Could take you an hour because you're stopping to give way to people. You know, you're changing down into first and second on some of the gradients, and you're really not going to travel very far. So be realistic with your expectations. You know, we sort of set out 6 days to do the 500 miles. I would say 6 to 7 days is comfortable. Today we've only gone about 40 miles. Yesterday, because we'd gone back to Inverness for a rest, we ended up doing just over 100 miles. So be realistic, you know, set 50 to 100 miles as your maximum sort of tour for the day, and it's quite tiring, stopping, starting, giving way to traffic, crossing cattle grids, giving way to faster moving traffic, letting motorbikes overtake, letting cars overtake, etc., etc. So don't clog up the roads. Be conscious if you're touring and you're going slower. Things are going to take longer, but to be honest, I'm loving it. The van hasn't missed a beat. We've done almost 1,200 miles since leaving home. You know, good old Georgie, she's chugging along. She's never going to break the land speed record, but that's not what we bought her for. Brilliant, honestly, loving every minute of it.
Comfy night's sleep.
Yeah, brilliant night's sleep, and to be honest, you know, great company, Mrs. T and Miss Darcy.
That's good then, that's just as well, isn't it? Mr. P just said about time and distance, that you set out in your mind how far you want to go each day, and we've seen a lot of vlogs on YouTube which are amazing, really informative. We learnt so much from everybody, but no one really said about how much time it takes to get around all these windy roads. Yes, I'm sure you can do it in 5 days, and it is doable, but we've discovered you have missed so much. There's so much to see. It's so beautiful, and you don't want to miss anything. And if you want to stop and see some sights, do a few things, walk along the beaches, I really think that you need to set yourself out a bit more time. Do it slowly, enjoy it every moment, because chances are you say you're going to come back to these places, but you might not. So wouldn't it be nice to just enjoy it every moment, take it really slow? So we've come to the end of our North Coast 500 journey, and what a journey it was. What an amazing adventure we've had in Georgie. I hope you've enjoyed every single moment whilst you've come along with us, and if there's any questions you'd like to ask us, just ask away. I hope we've covered everything you need to know if you're going to embark upon it, and if you're even thinking of it, please do it. You'll have an amazing time, and take us along on your journey too.